everyone, Naushad here. In this video we'll be designing our user interface. So the map page would look like this. So on the top we'll have a grid row for the pickup location and for the destination location with a button, and we'll have another row to display the map, and the final row would have the detail of the trip. So let's jump into the code behind. So this is where we have left from our last tutorial. So let me just run through so you see what was it displaying. So we were just showing user's current location on the map. Yeah. Okay, so I'll be adding a grid view to start with. So we have defined a grid view. We need to put the map inside the grid view now. So the grid view has got a row spacing of 5 and it has got 3 rows with the height request for the top row auto, so it will take only the space the element of that grid requires. The mid row would take the maximum available space, and the bottom row would take the available space that's only needed by the element of that. This is our grid with 3 row. Let me add box view so it would make more sense to you. So I've added 3 box view. To target the top row, we've got to say grid dot row equals to 0. We could either specify it. If you don't specify it, it would presume the first row is 0. You could see on the design here. And if I put map in grid row 1, it's gonna go and display it on the mid row. Let me show you. Yeah, so that goes in the background. If we change the color of that to transparent, we'll be able to see the map in the background. So we leave the map in grid 1, so you're targeting this mid grid, and for the top grid we'd be using another grid view. So let me come here and copy this, and I'm going to paste it here. Control I, save. So you do have the grid view now. So this grid view has got 2 row and 3 column. So 1 row for the origin entry and the second row for the destination entry. So this is the grid I've just added for you to copy. Let's add a stack panel. So we'll add a stack layout inside the grid. So that's going to target the first row, and just saying Control I, grid row 0, column 0, row span 2, so means it would expand to the next grid as well. And inside the stack panel we'll add 3 box view. So let me add them one by one so you'd know what are the changes I'm making. So this is the dot we have just created. So the reason it's creating a dot is height request 5, width request 5, and corner radius. If we leave the corner radius to say 0, it would become a square. So say that. We'll add another box view to draw a line. So that adds a line. Box view width request 0.5, horizontal option center, and vertical option fill and expand. So that's gonna go and connect to the available space, and we say background color equal to gray. The last box view is the same as the top box view, so this one, and we won't be having any corner radius, so that would give us a square. So the top box view is displaying that rounded node, and the next box view is this drawing this line, and the third box view is creating that square effect. So let me add those two entry. I'll add one by one so you would know what are the changes. So the entry now will be coming out of. So first I've added the stack layout. So these are the three box view for you to copy. The first box view is this one. The second box view is displaying the line, and the third box view is displaying this square. So once we are done with that, let's just minimize it, and we are still inside the grid, and I'm going to add the entry. See if you could look on the right, and we could see it here, it's displaying too. So placeholder enter pickup grid.row 0 grid.column 1. So this is column 0, this is column 1, and this is column 3, and we don't probably need these 3 elements, so just get rid of that to save your time. Enter another entry. So again we are inside the grid view, Control S, so that's giving us where to entry. Let me get rid of these 3, we don't need that. Control I would format our summary, right? And so we'll use an image to display the go button. Control I, Control S. So this is the button. So image source. So what I've done here is like I've added the image already. So view, solution. So to add an image, you've got to go your Android drawable folder, and you've got to say add existing file, and then you have to browse for the file. I've added quite a few, so I've downloaded that from the internet. On Android, you just add them in your resources. Again, add existing files, and you add your image here. So that's done for the top view. Let's close the Solution Explorer. But we want to extend our map to the background of everything. So now if we look, so come back to the map, we say grid.row 0 1, so that's targeting the mid grid. To display the map on background of everything, we've got to say grid.row 0, and we've got to add one more element, which is grid.row span equals to 3. So now that's gonna go behind all the other 3 rows we have defined here. So that's been done. We need to add just one more thing. See, on iOS we need to have a margin from the top, so we've got to add platform specific margin, copy. So once we have defined our grid, we just said this platform specific grid.margin on platform x colon type arguments thickness on platform iOS value from left 0, top 40, right 0, and from bottom it's 0. And on rest of the platform for Android, WinPhone or Windows, the value is 0. So if you save it now, it goes into a very nice space. So we do have a space 40 from the top on iOS as well. So that's been done. So we are done with our first. So the entry has been added. So now we need to add, instead of this box view, I'm going to add an activity indicator in here. So we say activity indicator grid dot row equals to 1 is running equal to true. You'd be controlling that from our view model on our next tutorial. And let's see if we run that. Okay, that's running. We could also define the horizontal option equals to center, and we could say vertical option equals center to control S. So that would display it in the middle. So that's been done. We just got to add the last grid element. We'd be using a stack layout to do that. So let's add a stack layout for the last row. Control I, save, missing the grid. So we have defined another grid with 3 more rows in it. So for the first row, we have a stack layout. So inside the first grid row, we have added a label. So first we define the stack layout, targeting the grid dot row 0. So we just started in this row, and then we are adding the background color. I've copied that from HTML color code, hex code, so you could just put any color. You could just copy it. And for the label, we have added a padding of 0.5, so you could just say it 5. And then text estimated pickup time 15 minutes, horizontal option center, and the text color is dark gray. For the last row, we could define this here. So almost the similar grid.row 2, so you're targeting the bottom row, padding 5 background color equals to the hex code here copied from the internet, and label text request my write. So once we enter the destination and the origin and say go, this is only when we'd be displaying this bottom grid for user to see the info and request for a, say, cab or Uber. So text color white, font size large, vertical option center, horizontal option center. That's done. So now inside here, the final, we've got to add. So for the second row, we have added a stack layout of background color white and the height request 60. So this is this area we are talking. And then to have this fare estimate and promo code, we have added another grid view here with 3 columns in it this time. So column 1, column 2, column 3. For the first column, we would use maximum available space. The second column, we would use the space it's only needed by that element we define. And for the third column, we would use the maximum available space as well. And for the first column, we've targeted that grid.column0, and we are adding the label which say text fare $9, font size equal to large, horizontal option center, vertical option center, and text color black. And we add another label which says fare estimate, and again horizontal option center, vertical option center, and the text color is the hex code I've copied from the internet. So this is the stack layout responsible for displaying this bit of information, and that is also the same. We just changed the color of this label to blue. So let me just expand that. So almost the same sort of code, only we are targeting the grid.column equals to 2. So text equals to applied, font size large, horizontal option center, vertical option center, text color is the hex code copied from the internet, and label equals another promo code, and color is again the hex code. And to draw this line, let's just expand this box view. Height request 90, width request 1, and grid.column1, so it's going to target this grid, and background color equals to dark gray. So if we run it on our iOS simulator, okay, there is a spacing somewhere, so something is wrong within the code. Okay, so inside the stack layout we have to find a grid and the rows, but everything inside the stack layout, all the elements, that has to go inside this grid. So here, and let's run it again. So now there is no spacing. Check the code on Android. So what I've done, instead of closing the grid here, all the elements that are supposed to go inside the grid view. So that grid has to close here. So yeah, there's no spacing. Okay. So you could probably get rid of this stack layout and start setting another additional layer for no reason. So I'll get rid of this. Stop the code. Okay. And in the grade dot row, post it true, and that should display the same outcome. Let's just check. It is. Yeah, this is it. So do the same thing on iOS. Working perfect, side by side. The code should look like this. And so this is the code, exactly identical. So that was it for this tutorial. If you have liked it, make sure you like, share and subscribe. And on the next tutorial we'll be consuming the data from OSRM server and displaying the route inside our map using MVVM pattern. So I'll see you in my next video. Thank you.